Big Red Nation, are we here? The best show for Chicago sports.
Yeah. What's good? We back. Oh, it feels good to be back, baby. Pulling back up on a Chicago Bears football week. Can never go wrong with that. And we got a lot to talk about on today's show. Starting it off, NFL.com not thinking very highly of this Chicago Bears offense. Going to look at one of the articles that ranks the Bears offenses and talk about where we expect this Bears offense to be at the start of the season. Also, this weekend, we saw Angel Reese do something that has never been done before. And she continues to receive a heavy amount of hate. So I just want to look at the numbers and discuss with some of the people out there why you got to respect what she's doing as well. It's 9/3/2024, 6:32 in the morning. Let's get it. Yeah. Hey, get the music. What's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Morning Breeze. This is going to be a Monday through Friday show starting now. Yesterday was a special day. It was Labor Day, so we took yesterday, did a couple of episodes, did a couple of drops, nothing crazy. But from this point on, you are getting double shows on the Windy City Breeze Monday through Friday. Of course, you're still going to be getting the daily show at 6 p.m. most days, 5 p.m. some days, 4 p.m. some days. We got to get that daily show schedule a little more consistent, but we got work to do. We're working around some different things. But now we're adding in the Morning Breeze Monday through Friday. Make sure that you guys are tapped in with us right here at 6:30 in the AM. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Shout out to the chat. McMuffin in here early said, Bear Down week is here, 100%. Eric Pittman saying 6 days to go, up 5 days actually. He corrected himself, 5 days ago. Mauricio Smith in the building said, yeah, what's good, my boy? What's going on? Happy? Said, yeah, dropping the yurts in here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Let's talk some football. Let's start off the day talking some football. How about that? That's where we're at in the world right now. Because we have a real football week. And so over the next couple of weeks, or over the next couple of days, I should say, not the next couple of weeks. We'll have some answers by then. Over the next couple of days, I want to talk about this Chicago Bears offense. I want to talk about this Chicago Bears defense. And I want to talk about our outlook for this team as a whole. And I thought that this article, to start things off, was very interesting. This is from Gennaro Felice from NFL.com. And basically, he talked about the top offenses that he has predicted in the NFL. And it does not look good for our Chicago Bears based off of NFL.com's latest article. He's got San Francisco ranked number 1, 28.4 points per game. I'm not mad at that prediction there at all. He's got Baltimore and the Miami Dolphins tied for second right now. 27.5 points per game. He's got the Dallas Cowboys 4th, 27 points per game. The Detroit Lions 5th, 26 points per game. Buffalo 6th at 25 points per game. Philadelphia is 7th at 24 points per game. Rams 8th at 23 points per game. New Orleans Saints 9th at 22 points per game. And then the Cleveland Browns rounding it out at 22 points per game for number 10. And when I saw this article, my mind goes everything Bears, right? It's just how it is. My mind goes everything Bears. Okay, how does this relate to the Chicago Bears? And I'm just looking at the points per game. Some of the people, by the way, he also did a just missed list, which he kind of, if I'm not mistaken, I also think, which is why I say take everything with a grain of salt. He also screwed up on, because he talks about the just miss list. I just named you that he had Baltimore tied for second. And he said that the Baltimore Ravens are an omission. So, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. But I thought that this was an interesting point to bring up where the Bears rank. The guys he says that just missed the Los Angeles. I'm trying to hold on. Los Angeles Chargers. Okay, he's got the Los Angeles Chargers as a just missed team in here, even though he has them on here. No, he doesn't. He has the Rams. So he's got the Los Angeles Chargers as a just missed team. My bad. I saw the LA and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This guy's screwing up all over the place. And he said, while we're on the subject of extreme offensive makeovers, did you know Justin Herbert has the highest career average passing attempts per game at 39.1? Something tells me that's going to change under Jim Harbaugh. So not only do you not think the Bears are top 10, you also don't think the Bears are probably in that top 15. Right? Because now you're starting to get to some of those other teams that he has on the missed list. He's got the New York Jets on the missed list, the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got some teams on his missed list that he named as well, which is interesting there. But I thought that this was interesting because it means that you don't have confidence in where the Bears are going to rank offensively moving forward. You don't feel that this team is going to be a top 15 offense, probably. And when you talk about 22.7 points per game, you don't feel like the Bears can score more than that. And I think that is I don't want to say that it's because it's going to come off like I'm being a homer. It's going to come off like I'm being an absolute homer, but you're telling me the Bears can't score more than 22.1 points per game? You're telling me that the Bears can't get more than 22.1 points per game? That was what the threshold was in 2023 to be a top 10 offense. So you're telling me the Chargers are a just miss team when they barely have a wide receiving core? You're telling me that the Chargers are a just miss team when the wide receiving core that they have already is Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston? To me, I know it comes off as if I'm being a homer here, but when you talk about the offense that the Chicago Bears team has built, they can't be in the top 15. If they can't be in the top 15, this offseason was a failure offensively. If you can't score more than 22.1 points per game, this offseason was a failure offensively. Because again, I've said this about this team overall. When you look at how Ryan Poles has put things together, when you look at how Ryan Poles has gone about accomplishing putting this team together, he's making it hard for Caleb Williams to fail. Where in the past we have seen how difficult it has been for quarterbacks to come out and have success. When in the past we've seen quarterbacks have to overcome the inefficient weaponry that was on the team. That's no longer the case here. You're telling me that you don't believe that this Bears team can be a top 15 offensive unit? I would be shocked by that this season. Now, with that being said, am I telling you the Bears will be a top 10 offense? I don't know if I'm there yet. And I want to tell you guys why I'm not there yet. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We do have to take a quick break to give you a quick message from our sponsors. We got sponsors now. We're moving up in the world, baby. Over at BetDSI. Right before we do that, though, we do have to let you guys know that we are currently at over 100 in the chat. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, Bears fans. Good morning, NFL world. We're going to take a quick break to listen to a message from our sponsors. We'll be right back to talk about why I think we don't have to say the Bears are top 5 just yet, but we can't disrespect them outside the top 15. In Bears Nation, it's your boy Pat, the designer from the Windy City Breeze, where we keep it 100 about everything Chicago Bears. Now, if you're like me, you don't just watch the game, you live it, and that's why you need to check out BetDSI. BetDSI is where it's at if you want to put your money where your mouth is. They've been doing it for over 20 years, giving you the best odds, lightning fast payouts, and a platform that's as solid as the best O-line. Whether you're betting on the Bears to take it all the way or making clutch live bets during the game, BetDSI has you covered. And here is the kicker. Just because you're rolling with the Windy City Breeze, BetDSI is hooking you up. Sign up today with the promo code WCB, and they'll give you 120% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money, folks, to make sure that you're winning as you back our boys in the blue and orange. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Head over to betdsi.eu, use the code WCB, and start turning your Bears passion into serious cash. BetDSI, where real Bears fans get it done. Appreciate our sponsors over at BetDSI. Make sure that you guys tap in with them as well. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Now, I want to talk about why, based on this list of the top teams, I'm not sitting there telling you you need to put the Bears in the top 5 offensively. And there's some Bears fans that are already there. There are some Bears fans that are like, look at these names: Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. You got to put them up there. How's Caleb Williams not going to be good? There's still a process to this thing. I would love to sit here and tell you that no matter what, Caleb Williams is going to hit the ground running. I would love to sit here and tell you that no matter what, Caleb Williams is going to go out there and dominate. But when you've got a top 10 offense, you have to have everything clicking. And it is the one thing that I can say about the offenses that he has listed here, right? When you look at the 2023 teams, San Francisco, Baltimore, Miami, Dallas, Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, the Rams, the Saints, the Browns. Well, maybe not the Browns. Even the Saints is a question to me. When you look at those teams, for the most part, you had everything clicking. And I think that offenses this season got deeper. When you look at the Niners didn't take a step back. When you look at the Chiefs to me took a step forward going out there and getting Xavier Worthy. I think that the Buffalo Bills were dumb enough to trade them, possibly Tyreek Hill, great value 2.0. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be the best receiver in the NFL, but when you look at the attributes, when you look at the speed, when you look at how Pat Mahomes is going to find this guy, he got better. And then on top of that, they go out and get a guy who thrived in this offense and Juju Smith-Schuster back, right? You've got the Lions. You've got the Rams, who I think made some nice additions this season. Of course, Puka Nacua being able to hopefully replicate what he was able to do there. And then you've got Cooper Kupp coming in a little bit healthier than he did last season. I guess a lot of bit healthier than he did last season. And then Kyron Williams being added to that team, right? When you talk about the Bengals, they're close to getting a deal done with Jamar Chase. So you know what the Bengals are going to bring as long as they can keep Joe Burrow healthy over there. The Miami Dolphins, I think, are a team that you have to watch out for offensively. I hate to say it, but ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers seem to continue to find guys and find ways to make guys look good on that team. It's disgusting, I know, Bears fans, but it is what it is. The Buffalo Bills, I think, are going to be an offense that is still going to have some teeth in it, even without Stephon Diggs on that team. When you look at the Texans, when you look at Baltimore, when you look at the Cowboys, when you look at the Eagles, when you look at the Jets, right? These are teams that are going to have teeth. These are teams that are going to be able to go out there and have some bite. And so I'm not sitting here telling you that the Chicago Bears need to be a top 5 offense. Heck, I don't even know if the Bears need to be a top 10 offense. But to me, to say that the Chicago Bears are not going to be top 15, if that is not the case, you failed. If that is not the case, Shane Waldron didn't do his job. If that is not the case, that Matt Eberflus probably is not coaching this team next season, because basically what you're telling me is you couldn't muster 3 touchdowns on an offense that has this many weapons. By the way, it would probably mean you're also not running the football at all, because even if you just do that, you're going to find your way to 3 touchdowns. And I also don't think that that means that this is going to be a failed season if you're not a top 10 offense. Because with the young pieces that you currently have on this team, offensively, you're going to have some time to grow. You've got DJ Moore locked in for the foreseeable future. You've got Rome Odunze. You've got Caleb Williams. These guys are locked in. They're not going anywhere. You can build with these guys. But you currently have a defense that I think will be in that top 10, top 7 category heading into the season. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If Flus calls that defense the way that we saw them calling it in preseason, you could be talking top 5 easily, possibly top 2. If he's able to generate pressure on the quarterback using that linebacker, using the linebacker blitz, being able to blitz some of these DBs because of the coverage that this team can go out there and actually create, I think that you're in a good spot. Oh, but Pat, this defense hasn't been able to go out there and beat any good quarterbacks yet. I agree with that. I understand that. They did beat Jared Goff, but I guess, you know, people aren't calling him a good quarterback. But at the end of the day, how many dominant quarterbacks are on the schedule this season? And I know, right? Oh, well, so you're saying we don't have to beat the best. I didn't say that. But for your record to be good, you have to beat the teams that you play. A lot of young guys. A lot of young quarterbacks, a lot of guys that are going to get flustered. And I talk about the defense because we're going to have a defensive episode as well. But I'm talking about the defense in the sense to say that if you get yourself into being one of those top 15 offenses, which I think that the Chicago Bears should be able to be, that should be your minimum expectation this season, to be top 15. If you get to that point, your defense is good enough for this to be a successful season for you. Hit the like button if you agree. That's what this comes down to. How do you create a successful season based on the team that you've put together? How do you put your team in a position consistently to go out there and win ball games? That is a team effort. We talked about this on yesterday's episode. I love the fact that Ryan Poles talked about rely on your team for Caleb. That's what it's going to take for this offense. I love the fact that Ryan Poles said you have to rely on your team to start this off. I gave you the team. Utilize them. I feel the same way about Shane Waldron in this offense right now. I feel the same way about the offensive play callers on this team right now. You don't need to go out there and ask Caleb Williams to be CJ Stroud right away. Now, if he has the ability to do it, I'm not telling you not to do it. But when you look at what you have on this offense, don't overdo it. This is literally the keep it simple, stupid team. It's the first time that you actually can do that. It's the first time that you can actually say it's the keep it simple, stupid team, not keep it stupid simple. We've done that. It's the keep it simple, stupid team. Pat, what do you mean keep it simple, stupid? What are we talking about here? I watched DJ Moore take screen passes last year that went 80 yards. I've watched Keenan Allen take an underneath route to the house. If at any point on this team you get a zero coverage, take your deep shots. And for the love of God, Shane Waldron, hand the football off. That's keeping it simple. You do not have to sit there and try and be the smartest guy in the room. The smartest guy in the room usually is the guy that's willing to take what the defense is offering to him. The smartest guy in the room is usually the guy that's willing to go, you know what? I'm playing a lot of man coverage. I have DJ Moore. Let's take advantage of this. And I think Shane Waldron is that level of OC. I think he's that guy. The one question I have about Shane Waldron right now is he going to consistently run the football? That's the one thing I don't know about him. That's the one thing I haven't seen about him. When we talked about, right, we talked with some of the guys in Seattle, the beat reporters in Seattle, about where Shane Waldron's issues came from. There was a lot of Luke Getsy things that were brought up. It was mostly about not being consistent with running the football, not making halftime adjustments, different things like that. Now, we haven't seen a ton of the halftime adjustment stuff, right? Because you haven't seen Caleb play into the second half yet. We'll see that for the first time on Sunday. Can't wait for that. But is he going to be consistent with running the football? Is he going to utilize this $7 million running back that you signed? Still can't get over that, but he's here. Here we go. Still struggling to get over that. I don't need Caleb Williams to go out there and be Jesus Christ with a football. I just don't. I need Caleb Williams to look at his teammates and say, if I put this ball in your hands, I know that you're going to be there. And that's the one thing about the young fella that I love. It's the one, there's a lot of things about his game that I love sitting here watching him here in Chicago, right? But like the one thing that I've loved the most, watching him every day at practice, watching him every day in training camp, watching him at OTAs, not only does he trust the system that Shane Waldron is doing, which I think speaks volumes to how they've been able to acclimate him into this offense. But on top of that, just the willingness to throw to the spot. Set hut, boom, 1, 2, gone. Get it to the spot. And so I think with those things, right, it's tough for me when we go back to the original topic of like where the offenses are going to rank coming into this season. It's tough for me to feel like this Bears team is going to be outside of that top 15 range. Now, am I telling you they're going to be a top 5 offense? No, but again, here are your top 10 offenses from last season. San Francisco, Baltimore, Miami, Dallas, Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Cleveland. Jay Crit in the building. What's good, Crit? Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. And when you talk about a prediction on top 15 offenses, And they only did the top 10 on this. They only broke down the top 10. Top 10 again, for those of you who are just joining: San Francisco, Kansas City, Detroit. This is NFL.com. This is who they believe will be the top 10 offenses in the NFL. San Francisco, Kansas City number 2, Detroit 3, Rams 4, Bengals 5, Miami 6, Packers 7, Buffalo 8, Houston 9, Colts 10, and then they're rounding it out on the just missed: Baltimore Ravens, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Los Angeles Chargers, New York Jets. I feel like I read that list the wrong way the first time. I feel like I gave you guys the 2023 names the first time. Apologize if I did that. I apologize if I did that. But you don't see this Bears team being a top 15 offense. It doesn't make sense to me. How are the Chargers a just miss? I'll give you the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, the Jets are going to be a good football team. If Aaron Rodgers is there, and I love the people that are like, well, he can't keep doing it. We watched this story already. It's the Brett Favre story without the weird pictures, and hopefully no stealing money from kids. I think Baltimore deserves to be there. I think Dallas deserves to be there. I think Philly probably is in that range. I think the Chargers are the team that I would say is off of that list. You lost literally every weapon that you had that was a viable weapon. You lose. You're betting a lot on Quentin Johnston, who seems like he still can't catch the football even in preseason. And listen, I drafted Ladd McConkey in fantasy. I'm hoping that he can hold on to the football, because he's going to be the only guy getting targets there. That to me is the range that you want to be in. I'm not saying I don't know if they can break the top 10. I would love to see it. I feel like there's a lot of love for the Colts on this list. That's kind of interesting to me. I don't know about the Colts being 10. But outside of that, I'm not mad at the list. I don't think that it's a crazy list. But I'll also say this: top 10 last year was the Cleveland Browns, and they finished out the year at 22.1. Offenses are going the other direction. Offenses are getting beat by good defenses. There are a lot of good defenses in this NFL. The Chicago Bears will be one of them. There are a lot of good defenses in this league that you're not going to sit there and see the offenses that are sitting there putting up 38 points a game. Your best offense last season didn't break 30 points a game. San Francisco, 28.4. Now, when you're scoring that much, you're probably breaking 30 more times than not, but still. That's why I'm not sitting here telling you that this Bears team has to be the best offense of all time. But you're telling me if we're not averaging more than 22 points a game, we got some problems there. If you're telling me we're not averaging more than 22 points a game, we've got some problems. Somebody's not going to have a job next season. When you look at the weaponry that's on this team, you better be averaging 22 points a game. If the Bears aren't in this top 15 list, I'll tell you this right now: the offenses better be scoring at an astronomical rate this year. The defense has improved. That whole soliloquy I just went on, that better be capped this season. But I think that there's a lot of good offenses. But you shouldn't be outside looking in on that. Now, I'll say this as well. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Yes, we are up early. I know that this is new for some of you. The Morning Breeze is a new show that we are bringing to the channel. I didn't do it last week because your boy was over on vacation. The Morning Breeze is something we're bringing new to the channel Monday through Friday, 6:30 to about 7:30. We can do about 45 minutes normally, but it depends on how good the conversation is. 6:30 to about 7:30. We'll be sitting here breaking down Bears football, Bulls basketball, talk a little Sky with you guys. I mean, like we're talking everything over here on the Morning Breeze. This is your morning cup of coffee. This is your morning sports show. Good morning. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Shout out to Sis Deja in the building. She said, only thing I can thank my job for is having me awake early enough to catch these shows. Continue to cook it up, my brother. And that's why we doing it, man. I was blue collar. I remember that. I still am blue collar in a lot of ways. I remember being up early at 6:30 going, ugh. Why are they playing this guy right now? Why is this going on right now? I remember the mornings. They suck. But no, I just when I look at offensively this Bears team, again, it's going to be hard to fail. It's going to be hard to go the other direction. It's going to be hard for Caleb Williams to find ways to be bad. Literally, his struggles will come from being a rookie. And that's okay. And I think that's the other thing that you have to take into account with this. Your expectations can be high, and I talked about this yesterday. Your expectations can be high and should be high for Caleb Williams. He's the number 1 overall pick. He's a quarterback who's coming into a situation that has never happened in the NFL. Right? He's got all of this pressure on him, but that's okay because he's not worried about the pressure. So your expectations on him should be high. But at the same time, that doesn't mean he's not a rookie. At the same time, that doesn't mean that he's not going to have those struggles. CJ Stroud had a 3-interception game. You got to ride that wave. You got to go through the ebbs and flows of what this season is going to be. And that means that your offense is going to have some ups and downs. But here's the thing that I want Bears fans to focus in on. And this is why I say, don't make these long grandstanding takes. You're not going to hear me do like season long takes at the beginning of the season. You're not going to hear me do the week 2, oh, this offense is a failure, everybody sucks. It's going to take time to develop. You know that. If you get to week 6, week 7, right, you can say that they're struggling, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to get it together. Because here's the thing. We watched this movie. The Bears offense in the beginning of the season was nothing like what we saw by the end of the season. The Bears defense in the beginning of the season was nothing like we saw at the end of the season. Teams can grow from the struggles that they have, and sometimes you have to navigate through those struggles. I feel like Bears fans are so ready to say we're supposed to go 7-1 through the first 8 games of the season because, yeah, I mean, you're sitting there excited about the schedule that they have. They've got some teams that are going to be some rookie quarterbacks that most Bears fans feel that they're better than, right? You're not playing any divisional games. You feel like you're supposed to get all of these wins and all this stuff early on in the season. It may not come. That may be the moment that Caleb has some of those struggles. That doesn't mean that that's who he's going to be to finish the year. And how often have we seen that? How often have we seen, when you talk about the long term of a team, that team be able to go out there and finish the season much stronger than they started? Heck, look at the Detroit Lions and how they just missed the playoffs 2 years ago, and then the run that they end up going on. Your hope is that this Bears team hits the ground running, but don't sit there and panic if you start the season off and this offense looks a little bit wonky. Now, if the defense looks wonky, we got problems. But the offense, like you gotta let that thing grow. You got to let them figure it out. I know there's a ton of weapons on this, but there is that thing. There is that part that you have to play in where you go, yeah, we got all these weapons, we got everything going on here. Also, oh, he's still a rookie. You don't want him to finish the season that way, but at the start, that just may happen. Now, I will also say this. It's also a strong possibility that we see none of that. And I say a strong possibility because I'm looking at history. I'm looking at the young QBs who, not to say they didn't have struggles or bumps in the road, but I think when we think bumps in the road, we think we're going down like the south side of Chicago and we're just rolling potholes every other street. Sometimes bumps in the roads are just bumps. Sometimes bumps in the roads are literally just a boop. Oh, that was crazy. That's all CJ Stroud had. 1-3 interception game. And I think that with how this team is built, there is a stronger possibility that you will have less bumps in the road. I think that there is a strong possibility that with Caleb Williams, and it doesn't mean he's going to go out there and be 4 touchdowns a game. There's going to be 1 touchdown games. There's going to be 1 passing, 1 rushing touchdown games. There's going to be a 2 touchdown, 1 interception game. There's going to be a 2 touchdown, 2 interception game. These things are going to happen. But when you talk about bumps in the road, I think people think that means that you're just riding down the street. Oh, Jesus. Oh, how'd I do? Hey, I got to swerve over here, and I'm swerving back over. Yeah, get into oncoming traffic to avoid the pothole over here, and then slide back for this truck hits you over here, and then boom, you right in another bump. Like, it doesn't have to be that. And look at history recently to tell you that. Of course, CJ Stroud is the most recent name that we bring up, but ladies and gentlemen, look at guys like Patrick Mahomes, who was in this situation. Look at guys like, I'll say, a Baker Mayfield even. Look at guys like Brock Purdy. Guys who we were expecting these like week-long or these month-long struggles that it just didn't happen for. When you put players in a good situation, that situation usually dictates how many bumps in the road you're going to deal with. You know why? Because Keenan Allen is a patch on a pothole. DJ Moore is a patch on a pothole. DeAndre Swift is a patch on a pothole. These are guys that you can rely on in those moments when things get tough to pull your young quarterback out of that. And you want to know what else? Hey, you want to talk about a patch? Forget a patch. The defense puts you in a bigger car. The defense has you in an F-250. You're rolling through the potholes. You got a whip. It's all about how you use it. And so I think that this offense should rank well to start the season. I don't need them to be top 10. They should be in that top 15 range. I think that this offense will rank well to start the season. But I also believe that you're going to go through some of your bumps and bruises. Doesn't mean they're week long. I think that when you talk about going through the year, especially this first, 8 games before we get to any divisional games, I would like to see this Bears team hovering around that 15 range. I would like to see this Bears offense hovering around that 15 range. If you're hovering there, I think that we're in a very good situation defensively as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. 120 in the building on the YouTube side, only 53 likes. Hit that like button over there. 64 over on the Twitter side, or X as they like to call it now. Hit that repost button. Share this to your communities. The more you share it to your communities, the further we are able to reach. Want to finish the show off here. We've talked a lot of Bears in this, but we did have a record broken in the city of Chicago, so I want to give credit to it. Over the weekend, we saw Angel Reese set the WNBA single season rebounding record. And I loved what she said after, talking about how she's not the tallest person on the court, how everybody wants to call her out about, her rebounding numbers being from her poor shooting and things like that. And I'm just confused on people who are still doubting this young lady's skill. There is a lot of that WNBA season to go left. And yeah, the team's not winning at the pace that you would like to see it winning at. I think that they have some three-point shooting deficiencies. I think that there's some struggles on the team from that aspect of it. But to set the WNBA single season rebounding record and have people still doubting her skill, that to me is wild. That to me is confusing. Because at the end of the day, defensively, let's just talk defensively. She averages 8 defensive rebounds a game. 8. So this is not off of her missed shots. 8 defensive rebounds a game. Right now, among women in the WNBA, that would rank her 12. Right now, among the best rebounders in the league, she would still be 12th in the WNBA. The biggest knock on her, which I can agree with, is she's not efficient enough offensively. But just like we just talked about with Caleb Williams, she is a rookie. She can continue to get better. Oh, by the way, she can score. And the other big knock on her is that while she misses shots, she gets the rebound and puts the basketball back in the bucket. I love the people that come out and they're like, oh, let me tell you this right now. The ceiling for this chick is Draymond Green. Okay. So her ceiling is a Hall of Famer. Her ceiling is a Defensive Player of the Year. And I understand. Listen, the comparison to Caitlin Clark, I get. This is why people are sitting here and they're having a problem with Angel Reese doing what she's doing, because of everything that Caitlin Clark is doing. And I'm not one of those people. For some reason, if you like Caitlin Clark, you have to hate Angel Reese. If you like Angel Reese, you have to hate Caitlin Clark. I could care less. I love the fact that the W is out here cooking. I love the fact that people are watching the W. But here's my thing. Caitlin Clark goes about her business differently. And it works. And it is a basketball that most people are used to watching in the modern NBA. 3-point shooting, facilitating, right? It's a great game. She's got a great game. But that does not mean what Angel Reese does and how she does it is not important to the game. I don't know if y'all know this, but getting offensive rebounds is important. I don't know if y'all know this, but putting the basketball back in after somebody misses a shot is important. I don't know if y'all know this, but Getting steals in a WNBA game is important. She's averaging almost a steal and a half a game here. And so it's such weird energy to me. And I love the people that are like, well, if she the only reason that she's got this record is because she's rebounding her own misses. Well, that's just not factually true. Does she rebound her own misses? Sure. But that's not a bad thing. I know a bunch of players that rebounded their own misses. We calling that bad? Would you rather she didn't rebound her own misses? But even if you take those out, she still leads the WNBA in rebounds. So I'm just confused at where the hate is. Is it just because of the ring tap? Is it still because of that? Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but if you're mad about that, be mad about the fact that they didn't win the ring. Everybody wants to put Caitlin Clark in this strat. And here's the thing. Financially, Caitlin Clark is absolutely everything that no other WNBA player has ever been. She 100% is. There's never been a bigger draw in the WNBA than Caitlin Clark. That is a fact. A'ja Wilson to me is a better basketball player. She does not draw like Caitlin Clark. She just doesn't. We all agree on that, right? Okay. But when you look at skill sets, when you look at winning, when you look at championships, there are women in this league that do it better. In fact, there are women in this league who at the college level, while yes, she was the leading scorer, they won. Candace Parker won. A'ja Wilson won. Angel Reese won. I love the story. I love that she's bringing eyes to the W, but at the end of the day, sports is about winning. And I'm sorry, I can't live in this world where winning doesn't matter. I can't. I think that getting there is important. But more times than not, I'm going to put people who have the accolades above the people that don't. That's just how sports works. I don't know why we're living in this world where we're pretending that's not how sports works. Right? We talk about Dan Marino as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We talk about Dan Marino as one of the dogs of the game. Is Dan Marino over Montana? Is Dan Marino over Brady? Is he over Rodgers? Is he over, I mean, like, if we're being 100%, like Rodgers, you can sit there and be like, well, I like Dan Marino's game. I think he does this better than Rodgers. I think he could. He's not better than Aaron Rodgers. Because Rodgers got MVPs and rings. Or ring, I should say. So I can't live in this world where people have gotten to where winning doesn't matter. I will give you all the credit in the world for getting there. 100%. It's tough to get to a finals. It's one of the most difficult things. There are some players that go their entire careers and they never sniff a finals. They never sniff a ECF or a NFC title game. Or they never get close to them. But it's about winning it all. Y'all know my favorite basketball player of the last probably 20 years is Russell Westbrook. I don't know about 20, maybe 10. Last 10, he's been in the league. Last 15 years, maybe 15. Right, from 2010 on. That's crazy to say from 2010 on. We had 15. It's Russell Westbrook. Been to a finals, got an MVP, triple double champ. Love it. Love the energy, love the intensity, love everything about his game. He didn't win. There are point guards that I have to put above him that won. That's how it goes. It's sports. And so this weird energy that Angel Reese gets because she won. Oh, well, you waved your hand in the face and you did this. And then nobody cries when Steph goes night-night. Nobody cries when LeBron double paps the chest and pushes down. Nobody cries then after a big three to seal the deal. Well, he didn't do it in their face. What you mean? They standing right here. Nobody was upset when Travis Kelce gets the big first down to seal the deal and points. Nobody was upset when Chris Jones made the game-saving sack and rips the nobody was upset. Nobody was crying. Stop giving this weird energy to the WNBA because they're women. We need to protect them. These are athletes. And so I have to give credit to Angel Reese for winning and acknowledge that she needs to play better. Offensively, she needs to be better. That's okay to say. Now, I will say this. Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year. 100%. It's not even a question, especially after what she just did in Chicago. Oh, by the way, where she hyped up the fans in front of everyone. Where she's calling for the boos in front of everyone. She's a great player. She's the Rookie of the Year. She is. And Angel Reese is winning records in her own regard. She's setting a single season WNBA record, and she's now going to be breaking her own record for the rest of the year. She's on pace to become one of the best rebounders in WNBA history. Now go out there and figure out how to shoot more than 30% from the field, and we'll have a great team. She's going to add to her game. These are rookies. Caitlin Clark is great this year. You know what I expect for her next year? To be better. Angel Reese dominating down low this year. You know what I expect for her next year? To be better. That's the other weird thing that's going on out here now. It's like you live in this space of like, well, that's what we saw, so that's who that's going to be. What? In what world is a rookie the person they are the rest of their career? Even if mugs get worse, like you're usually not the same player you were your rookie year. Unless you're Patrick Williams. Oh, he didn't deserve that shot. He didn't deserve that shot. I shouldn't have thrown that out there. Hey, man, real quick before we get up out of here. Over 200 in the chat. 200, 128 on the YouTube side, 76 over on the Twitter side. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. You haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the Morning Breeze, so make sure that you're tapped in with us tomorrow morning as well. We'll also be back later today, 5 p.m. for the Daily Show, so make sure that you are tuned in with us on the Daily Show. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. If you like anything that you saw here, make sure to share it up. We'll have clips dropping all day. Y'all stay safe.